I want you guys to understand something about life. If you understand everything about life, where you understand that no matter what, that you're going to go and enjoy the process, I mean, make sure you never ever do that in terms of what I just done. Because guess what happens? I mean, your actual video just never ever, let's say, erupts in the way it's meant to be. So what you have to understand is never ever try to cover the lens while you're actually doing a video. Because how does this look? I mean, how does that look? I mean, do you understand? So what I do, I use my nice beautiful shirt and I go like this in the camera lens, and I just go and actually I rub the lens with my shirt, and then it has a nice and beautiful, let's say, photo like this. But if I do this, I mean, now I look like crap. I mean, that looks like crap, but look at this now. Actually, now it looks much better because I'm using my shirt. So if I just show you really quickly, so I'll just do this. I see now, I mean, you can see how my actual finger just makes the freaking video no good. So I just go like this, and now it's actually working, huh? So it's a nice and beautiful trick, but see, everything is good. See, everything is good, but it's just, you say it has to improve. I mean, it has to improve. So that's the whole point of understanding anything. But if you want to learn something, guys, then you have to learn how to stay away from it. I mean, guess what? The only learning tool that I have in life is I stay away from certain aspects of life. So when I try something out, like let's say I do something, but it never works out for me, I stay away from doing it ever again. I never do it ever again. So let's say I do drugs. I never do drugs now. I understand, although it's more that I was doing drugs, for example. And I was doing so much drugs that it was never working out for me, really. I mean, it was never working out for me. So what did I do? I stay away from drugs now. I mean, that's how I learned from it. I understand I was drinking a lot of Coke. And guess what? I found out some information about it. I was learning about it. I'm still learning about it too. I found enough information for myself to say I'm staying away from Coke, and I never want to drink it again. I learned from it. I never drink Coke. I never do drugs. I was a cigarette smoker for 7 years, and I found out enough information about it, and I said no more. I realized, although I have more enough all the time, although I said no more will I, and I always understand, for example, I do always have more, but I said I'm a non-smoker, and I just really, really never ever do drugs anymore in terms of cigarettes. So I learned from it. I stay away from it now. So if you want to learn something, then understand Thomas Edison's nice and beautiful, let's say, recap of life. And he found 1,000 ways that the light bulb never works. So what does he do? I mean, he never does it again. I mean, you have to find billions of ways and more in life to find out how life never works. I mean, understand? So you can stay away from it, and so you can have more experience in your life. And now, experience comes only once you've learned from it. I mean, understand? I mean, when you've learned from it, then you have the true experience of life. But if you never learn from life, you may have an experience of life, but you never learn, do you? I realize, although once you learn from it, just like Thomas Edison does, then he never ever does mistakes again. And he goes and does something different to make a light bulb. I understand? I mean, he found 1,000 ways that the light bulb is never going to work. And how does he do that? I mean, he has to write down every single idea that never works for him in terms of the light bulb. So that's the whole point, isn't it? So make sure you understand that in order for him to say 1,000 ways that never works in terms of a light bulb, he has to write it down on a paper somewhere. I mean, how does he get the 1,000? I mean, how does he get the 1,000 ways? I mean, he has to write it down. I realize the first way is this. The first way and this way, this way, it never works. I understand, although guess what? That either way, what you need to realize is if you stay away from certain aspects of life, then you learn from it really quickly. So I learn from the crowd by staying away from the crowd as much as possible. I stay away from them as much as possible. And I understand that what's important for myself is I go and dwell a better way for myself to grow. And I never ever want to talk to other people unless I'm recording myself along the way with them. So the only time I talk to other people is when I'm talking to them in a way that I'm recording myself talking to them. And that's it. There's no other way for myself to be with them other than recording myself with them in an audio podcast or an entrepreneurship video. And then we actually talk. and we talk about something. But other than that, for us to just sit on the couch together and suck each other's dicks and to have sex, I promise you no. You understand? I never need you in life. I promise you, although you must understand that if it's documenting us together, I'm somebody who's just the word I never go for men in terms of anything sexual. But I understand although that if it's a pornography video, then I understand although that I'd rather go and actually make a porno video than never make it. Because I'd rather watch myself doing it, for example. So then what do you do with the pornography video? I mean, you share it around. And then guess what? I promise you, if you're having sex with Beyonce or something, or these famous people, then share your pornography video with them and you just go viral really quickly. I mean, you become famous really quickly. And then, so make sure you understand that if you want to go and do something very famous for yourself, then go and understand every single day to learn how to stay away from stuff. I mean, stay away from what's killing you. I mean, stay away from something that's dragging away your time. I mean, stay away from something that's gambling your money away. I mean, stay away from something that's somebody in terms of life who never has $1 million in their pocket. I mean, never even talk to those people. I mean, put numbers on people. I mean, do they have $1 million in their bank account? I promise you, if no, then never talk to them. I promise you now, do they have $1 million in their bank account? I promise you, yes or no? I promise you, never talk to them. I promise you, never talk to them either. I mean, why? I mean, why do you want to talk to them? I mean, never talk to other people. I mean, never ever talk to other people. I mean, try to go as much as possible without them because you never need them to talk to them. I mean, you never need them to talk to them in life. I mean, you never need to even reply to them. I mean, let's say 1 billion people reply to you today and write to you a message. I mean, how are you going to reply to all of them? I mean, how are you going to reply to everybody single-handedly? I mean, how? I mean, 4 years of your life is gone, man. Understand? So what you do is realize this, that nobody's wasting time, but those people who are drug addicts are wasting time. I'm never wasting time. First, you must understand every single day that if you're with Jesus Christ every single day and you're focusing on a greater life for yourself, then focus on doing a video right now. So I'm understanding that no matter what, I'm always learning for myself along the way. I'm learning how to really, really become much more in terms of what I do. So I'm focusing on a greater life for myself. I'm focusing on making sure that I want to go and become the most I can be. So what's important for me is understanding that I apologize for this. I promise you, although that what's important for myself is understanding that if you want to pause the video first, I realize you pause the video and then go and do what you want. For example, I have a pause function over here. So I understand that is why I understand I have to get my selfie stick. So I realize that either way, though, if you want to go and really, really dwell upon a greater life, then go and focus on actually having lights in your actual camera. I mean, that's very inappropriate. I mean, it's very inappropriate and unprofessional to never pause up your video camera as you are walking somewhere like that. Because why? Because look, I'm never going to do that again. I'm never doing that again because that's stupid. I mean, it's stupid when people are watching me and I go through the corridor and there's no fucking light there. I mean, and then my fucking whole face disappears from the video. I mean, it's unprofessional. So never ever do that. I mean, please learn from my mistake. So also, if there's no fucking selfie stick next to you like this, then please, please, please fucking pause the video. I mean, do you see me? I mean, guess what? I just fucking did pause the video because guess what? I mean, if I do this, I mean, how the fuck did that happen? Because I did fucking pause the video, didn't I? So make sure you understand that you pause the video and then go get your selfie stick in the next room and then fucking continue the video. I mean, understand? So that's what you have to learn as well. So focus on understanding that if you're doing something around the town, just make it a nice and beautiful habit for yourself to go and really, really dwell upon a better life and be able to go and record yourself daily in a video and be able to go and train yourself to do whatever you're doing. So make sure you understand that if you're doing a video, then never fucking do anything else. I mean, I understand I have to fucking charge my portable speaker, but guess what? I'd fucking rather do this video than charge my portable speaker. I mean, if I want to charge my portable speaker so badly, then all I fucking do is pause the video. I pause the fucking video and then I fucking charge it. I mean, now, is it the fucking time to do so? I promise you, yes. I promise you, it's always the fucking time to do so. I promise you, although I understand that either way, that what's important for myself is to just keep going with the video. Because I understand I just want to fucking do this video. I understand because I have plenty of time to charge my technology. I promise you, although you must understand every single day that whatever is important to you, I promise you, make it worth it. I mean, make it worth it every single day. And understand that I can go around speaking to anybody today. But what's important is my legacy. And I want to stay away from people and talking to them as much as possible so I can talk to myself. I'd rather talk to myself than them. I mean, period. Make sure you understand that even though, yes, you may teach them something about life or whatever, but what's even better is your legacy. So focus on understanding that, yes, what's even important, and even more important than that, is if you try to market yourself online and you go to people and you're actually building a program around talking to other people, then guess what? Now you understand exactly how to do it. But now what I do is really, I make an audio program on the side, which is an audio program. And then I go online and I talk to people. And while I'm talking to people and while I'm sending them a message, I make an audio program about why I'm saying this to them and what kind of ideas I'm trying to extract from these people and why I'm teaching them what I do. But that's how you actually do it. That's how you actually talk to people online today. And you actually make an audio program on the side online with yourself and others and talk to them all day long if you want. But as long as you're doing an audio program while you're doing it, because it's about your legacy, and never ever talk to them without doing screenshots of the actual content that you're talking about with them. But make sure you understand, if you want more friends, then how many friends or people can you talk to in daily life? There's only so much time in a day for you to talk to other people, even when you're doing an actual audio program. So the max I can talk with other people is 1 hour online every single day. Max. There's no chance for me to talk 5-10 hours with them. So make sure you understand that I time my nice and beautiful methods over here. So I can only invest 1 hour into talking to people online every single day of my day. That's it. Nothing else like that. I understand, although make sure you understand that no matter what, what's important is understand now. Since I understand our time limit, I understand you must be setting time limits and deadlines for yourself to get away from people as much as possible. Because yes, I understand a message here and there. I understand that can work out. Now it can work out for you to message somebody here and there. It can work out for you. But if you're fucking messaging them over and over and over again in a day, it's a foul red flag. And why is that? Because you send them 10 messages in a day and they never sent you one message. So make sure you understand that if you want to go and promote yourself to people who are the same people, then that is a red flag. Why is it a red flag? Because you have new people to invest into. Go and really, really talk to new people today. Go the new way. But if you want to inspire the same crowd and you want to send people of the same crowd something, then guess what? Now, that's something that you have to understand about yourself. If you want to promote yourself to other people, then guess what? Then do an audio program while you're doing it. And only ever send content to other people when you're doing an audio program. And set that nice, beautiful discipline in terms of that nice and beautiful discipline for you to send everybody what you're sending them. And go and market yourself for 1 hour then, if that's what you want to do. But understand, you're never wasting time because you're doing an audio program. But if you're just fucking sending 1 hour to people like this without you recording anything else, that's just a fucking waste of time, isn't it? It's a fucking waste of time. So make sure you understand that you never waste your time in the process of what you're doing. But make sure you're showering if your beard is actually, let's say, itchy. If you're itchy in terms of the facial expression or anywhere around your body is itchy, then go and shower and bath right away. And then understand to never ever scratch your beard like this. But what you do is do this. Actually just massage your beard. Just massage the itchy part. So if you're itchy right here, never go like this. Never put your nails into your skin like that. But what you do is just massage the part where you're itchy. So just be able to massage where you're itchy. And then focus on understanding now that since I'm really, really speaking more words and I'm doing something around my content and my music production and what I'm doing daily, I'm becoming much more smarter about music production and what's going on around the world. But what's important is understand that everything in terms of life, I understand that is a nice and beautiful way for me to say that, hey, you must grow yourself and you must understand every single day that what's important is stay away from other people. But if you want to go to people to speak to them personally, then guess what? There's a special remark here. Go to millionaires only. Go to millionaires only and never ever go to random people online to do anything other than to talk to them in a way that you're recording yourself doing an audio program today. That's the only way to speak to people online today. And if you're doing it in real life, never just go to anybody. Never ever just go to anybody who is doing anything who is doing anything in life. Make sure you understand, do you go to specific people in real life? Go to specific people in real life to do video programs with them. So I understand the crowd here. I never ever do video programs with them because they're stupid. I mean, common sense, man. I mean, it's so stupid to understand anything but understanding how worthy you are when you understand that you're never stupid. And nobody's really, really stupid, but they're stupid to the point that they never understand how to grow with me on a video. I mean, they never take it seriously. I understand? So you must understand that what's funny about life is contradiction, isn't it? So it's being able to call people stupid and then never stupid. I understand? I mean, it's the funniest thing, but guess what? I mean, you must understand, every single day, focus on understanding that now, since I'm always recording audio programs around what I'm doing, I promise you, I make nice and beautiful, let's say, music tracks, but while I'm actually doing that, I'm actually focusing on a better way for myself to grow. And then also I'm talking about life in the process of what I'm doing in terms of music production. And then I'm also recording the audio via a voice memo because I have 2 phones. And now, since I understand that, I'm making sure that no matter what, that everybody understands that I have to be making audio programs. And then what I do is I post it on YouTube, and I post my new audio programs on YouTube, and then I make new different contents I've never ever made in my life before. And then I'm always constantly uploading something online to make sure that everything is going much better in my life. So I understand that most people in the planet never want to watch you and what you're doing. They never want to watch you and what you're doing. But what you need to do is set an example here. I mean, set an example about life. And now understand that since many famous people only have a certain amount of followers in life. But why is that? Because other people are jealous of them. And other people have no communicational skills to even follow you. I mean, they have no communicational skills to follow Jesus Christ. Well, you said to never, I mean, never ever take it personally. And now, if you yawn in a video, I mean, guess what? I mean, go ahead. I mean, go ahead and yawn in a video because it's actually useful for you to understand that it's just something that you have to do all day long. And then what you do is communicate your greatness in a camera and a video, and be able to listen to other people's music and revise people's content, and also go and do some mentorship with your mentors and go and read their content while you're actually doing an audio program with them. I mean, in a sense, so what you do is, for example, let's say Dean Graziosi is doing a nice and beautiful seminar somewhere. So I go and watch him, for example, online, and I click on his video and I start watching him. And then what I do is I have earphones and I have my other phone, and I say, I understand Dean Graziosi is doing this nice, beautiful seminar. So he's talking about this nice and beautiful way of life, but I understand what he's not saying, or else that what he's never ever saying in terms of his video is this and this and this and this. But I understand in either way that since he does go and make this remark in front of people, and he's actually talking to this woman in a nice, polite way where he's actually standing away from the actual woman in a way that he never wants to interrupt her. I understand? Because I'm revising what the fuck he's doing on actual in his video, but then I'm actually talking on audio camera in terms of my audio podcast in another version where I'm extracting what he's doing and I'm teaching you. I'm teaching you what other people are doing. I mean, that's how I learn and grow. I mean, so make sure you understand, that's like taking notes. I mean, I'm looking at him and I'm really, really observing him. I'm observing what successful people do while I'm talking what they're doing. I'm talking like what they're doing in terms of, I'm talking about what they are doing to teach you in an audio program, because that's how you take notes. But other people take notes while they're journaling, while they do it. But you can also do it with audio, or you can do it for video too. I mean, in a sense, so I can put Dean Graziosi with a nice and beautiful, let's say, way of method that I'm watching him on the laptop while I'm actually recording my nice and beautiful, let's say, screen over here with my face. And then what I can do is I can watch him and have earphones in my head like this while I'm watching him. And then what I'm doing is I'm listening to his actual audio program while I'm teaching you about what's going on in my life and what's going on in his life. So you have to understand that's something that you can do right now. So what you have to realize is, if you send an audio to somebody else, or video or something of images or anything, I mean, just make sure to save it in your phone, because that's your voice. I mean, that's your face. I mean, that's something of your life. So save it as much as you can and be able to document it and be able to promote it every single day. And then focus upon understanding that if you go and build this nice and beautiful fashion industry of what you're doing every single day, then focus on understanding that what you need to do is a greater way of life. So if you understand, if you just go around doing much faster what you're doing every single day, then understand that eventually you're going to have all the time in the world to be able to go and do what you need to do in your life to make sure that you're more successful than other people, because that's the whole point. I mean, just become much more successful than other people and speak those words much more than other people, and then that way you have to understand that you are much more better than other people. And that way you're going to understand that drug addicts today are smoking cigarettes and they're doing alcohol and drugs with other people and they're doing nothing. I mean, they're doing nothing because they're never recording themselves doing it. I mean, they feel so much ashamed. I mean, they feel so much shame about what they're doing in life. I mean, but I can record myself all day long, but drug addicts can never do that. I mean, because they hate themselves. I mean, they hate looking at themselves. I love myself and my image so much because that's the whole point of life. I mean, one of the most difficult aspects of life before for me was putting my face on video camera. Rush it. And why is that? Because I was hating myself so much. Rushing, I mean, you understand? And then I became aware to watch myself in the mirror much more and more and more. And I became loving myself much more to be able to step into a video camera like this and to be able to teach you something about life now. But I understand every single day I'm always learning to progress my nice and beautiful audio content and what I have today. So I've already done 3.5 hours of audio today. Just audio. So this is my 4th hour. There's a 4.5 hours of content I've done already, and I've also went and I've done another 2 hours of actual recording of me doing nice and beautiful DJing over there. So I was practicing DJing. So that's 6 hours of practice every single day about just what I love to do. I mean, so 6.5 hours of practice. I mean, word talking and also writing down something and just working. I mean, I've just been working all day on myself. I'm still yet to eat something. So make sure you understand either way that what's important is understand I've done my uploading for the day as well. I've done all my uploading on Instagram. I understand although that fashion photos today is something I have to do, but it's already nighttime now. So I understand I have to get my time much better with the nice and beautiful fashion photos, and I have to be able to go and really, really be quicker about what I'm doing so I can really, really set the stage in to do nice and beautiful, let's say, my nice and beautiful fashion photos. So you have to understand every single day that if I just really, really go out and I go about somewhere and I do 60 photos here and there, then I make sure that I understand that no matter what, I can go and do 120 photos, or I can do, let's say, 240 photos or more, or even 5, or I can even do 500 or 1,000 photos a day somewhere, and then I'm always ahead of the day. I'm always ahead. So if I only do 60 photos a day, then guess what? Then that's all I have. But if I do more than that and I go around town and I go somewhere to do much more than that, then I understand it's possible for me to do 120 photos. It's possible. So then I have to just stay ahead of the time here. I have to stay ahead of the time with my fashion photos. So that's a communicational skill. And I have to go and really, really understand where the areas are in the area to be able to get myself in those locations, to be able to speak in a way that I'm going to be able to learn much more. So the whole point is understand the poker players today. Guess what they're doing? They're going to play poker on the table. And guess what? They may talk to each other, but they're losing time. They're losing time. And why is that? Because they're never documenting on video what they're doing. Now in the World Series of Poker, it's different. World Series of Poker means that they are playing poker and they're documenting their life, but they're never doing it to teach you anything. Now, they're never specifically trying to teach you with words here. So they're wasting time as well in some kind of regard. So make sure you understand that if you want to understand who's the most successful today in terms of everything, then understand that those people who are putting themselves on video and audio and writing materials right now and who are doing more of that are the most successful. And they're teaching you, literally. They're the most successful. So understand, for example, Beyonce never gets up on video to teach you anything. She never specifically wants to teach you anything about life. And now she never consistently does it. She never consistently does it. So that's the kind of woman she is. And also, I understand either way in audio programs, apparently she never does audio programs. Apparently now, does she write books? Apparently she never write books either. Beyonce. So that's how smart she is. And then also in singing, apparently she'll sing all day fucking long, but she'll never teach you how to sing. She'll never fucking teach you how to sing, man. So that's how small of Beyonce is. But guess what? Apparently if I'm Beyonce, guess what? I'm better than Beyonce. But let's say somebody else is Beyonce, but they fucking do a video every single day to teach you something. And they fucking do audios every single day to teach you something. And just audio only. And they fucking write materials and books as well to teach you something. And they also fucking sing just like Beyonce. And they also fucking teach you how to sing. Understand? How fucking good is that? That's much better, yeah? But Beyonce only fucking wants to sing. And that's it. But this other individual wants to teach you how to sing, and they fucking sing, and they fucking write books, and they fucking write quotes, and they write fucking journals as well. And they fucking write videos like this, and they fucking write audios as well. But Beyonce never does that. Understand? Broshi, guess what? Broshi, now who's more attractive? I mean, of course, somebody who's fucking helping you more is more attractive. I mean, make sure you understand that no matter what, that I can really, really understand Donald Trump, for example. And now Donald Trump can get on a fucking video and he can teach you something on the video. I mean, he can fucking teach you on the video, but he never stays consistent on that. But Donald Trump is never consistent on actually teaching you on a video. I mean, he never cares about you that much. But anything that he's on the video with is because other people want to interview him, and that's it. But he never fucking does audio programs with you anyway. I mean, he never fucking does audio programs to teach you either. So he does have a TV show. And now that TV show, he never fucking wants to teach you anything on that TV show. He is just fucking promoting himself, and that's it. He just cares about his own promotion in this kind of way, but never to fucking teach you about how to promote. You understand? But anybody who fucking cares about promoting themselves on TV, but also fucking teaching you how to do that, is much more caring of you. So understand that Donald Trump never cares about you in this regard, but understand that no matter what, that he never ever, let's say, tries to consistently write books. Although, yes, he does. Now, Donald Trump consistently tries to write you books. He tries consistently to write you something down so that you can learn from him. I mean, I can see that. I can see that in him. I can see the passages of what he said. So you must understand every single day that anybody who chooses to write books down physically is choosing to write because they want to teach you and never because of other people. I mean, just understand that. I mean, I understand Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump did make a book together, but Robert Kiyosaki may have did the asking for him to do that, but Donald Trump never did it for him. Donald Trump never did it for Robert Kiyosaki. Donald Trump said, yes, I agree. I mean, he wants to fucking teach you something in that actual writing that he done. So that's excellent, yeah. That's attractive about Donald Trump, that he wants to teach you something in that book. So that's the book with Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump. So go and check it out. I mean, it's something on real estate. So make sure you understand that no matter what, if you learn about life, then learn about understanding about how attractive other people are. So these people from the past, now, none of them want to teach you on a video from my life. I mean, people from my life who are in the past, except I, none of them want to teach you anything on the video. None of them. None of them consistently want to do that. And none of them consistently want to, let's say, teach you in an audio program anything about life consistently. And none of them also want to write a book down to teach you anything. And none of them want to even write quotes down to teach you anything. I mean, they're so stupid. And those women from the past that I've seen all go for those men. I mean, they're going for those men in life. I mean, that's why they're going to be very small in life, and that's it. So make sure you understand that no matter what, that anybody who's attractive is in your life, and that's it. I mean, understand? I mean, just call yourself attractive and nobody else. I understand? I mean, call yourself attractive. I mean, just say, I'm the most attractive. I mean, if they say, who's the more attractive, this man or this man or this woman or this woman, I mean, guess what? I'm going to just say, I'm the most attractive and I never care about anybody else. I mean, that's the best decision you'll ever make. I mean, ever try to say that anybody's ugly, but just say, I'm attractive instead. Understand? Actually, it's even much better. But if you call people stupid, then it's because you're stupid. Actually, what you judge other people as is what you are. So understand that no matter what, that if you want to have a laugh with yourself, then you can call them stupid, but make sure you understand that the real way of speaking is just call yourself attractive instead. I mean, make sure you understand that no matter what, that when I'm looking to understand something about life, I'm understanding that I have to go reach out to you every single day, and I have to really, really be consistent about what I'm doing. But I understand either way that most people never ever see what I'm really doing. Most of them understand to some level what I'm doing about my life, but never to the full extent of what I'm doing. They never ever want to catch up with me. They never want to consistently try to follow me, and they never consistently want to see what I'm doing. So make sure you understand it's because that's going to happen in your life. That's going to happen in your life. So all you have to do from this point is understand that if you're getting a certain amount of following online, and then something happens where you're never ever getting a certain amount of following from that point on, then guess what? I mean, keep working and keep encouraging yourself to grow. And eventually, you're going to get so talented in terms of you're going to have so much talent that you're going to get up in front of people eventually, and then people will recognize you to some extent even more because you are pushing in front of a crowd and you're famous and you have all the talent and skills now to just go around the world traveling, and you have all the money and you have everything you ever want, and you're already rich. I mean, you're rich. I mean, you're famous. I mean, you have all the money now, But guess what, Rosh, if they never want to follow you because they have all the money in the world and you have Jesus Christ more in your life, Rosh, forget them. Forget those people who never want to follow you when you have more of Jesus Christ in your life. In a sense, so you can only have much more when you're following Jesus Christ. I understand, but that's the only way. There's no other way. It's either one way or another. The other way is have less or have more. If you have more, then that's Jesus Christ's way. In a sense, so make sure you understand that what you want out of life is Jesus Christ more. So make sure every single day you have to understand that I have more Jesus Christ in my life, but women are running away from me. I have more Jesus Christ in my life than those men that they are running for. Rushing out, it's very attractive for me to understand that I love that they are going for men who are lower than me in terms of frequency and in terms of life, because that's what they deserve. So make sure you understand every single day that what's important is I understand that no matter what, that my life is greater regardless. So when I look at everybody individually, then what I really see in life is I am toppling them. I'm on top of them. I am much better, and I'm better looking in terms of every single area of life when I'm individually watching people. So understand that no matter what, that you may look at this big world of people and how much they have, but guess what? Look at them individually. Look at the world individually. Understand? Because individually, you can own the world that you live in. Understand? But with other people, you can never own your world. You understand? Guess what? With other people, you can own your world if you understand to just be with yourself. Understand? Just be with yourself. You never need other people at all. Understand? Never ever go towards other people in a way that you need them or something. You never need other people. Understand? What you need is yourself. So focus on actually doing something that's going to help you move forward, regardless of anything that's happening. But today is a beautiful business day for me, and Jesus Christ can see this. So I understand that no matter what, I'm having a great time today. But I understand that no matter what, that I've learned some things along the way about being 28. But being 28 is a massive number for me, and it's the best number I've ever had in my life. Understand? And now, it's always I first. I understand I first, but this number, in terms of where I am now, is the best ever. This point in time is what I'm saying, is the best life expectancy I've ever had in my life. It's one of the best experiences of my life right now. I'm experiencing life to the fullest. I understand that now. I understand that if you want to experience life to the fullest, then just become better than yesterday all the time. And then that's living life to the fullest. But if you're always the prime of your life, that's the living life to the fullest. Understand? So it's maxing out your capacity to teach people. Now I wake up in the morning today, and the first thing I've done, I went into my audio program, and I did start to do my nice and beautiful content of uploading online while I'm actually teaching life coaching in an audio program, and while I'm also teaching my music production for 2 hours today in an audio program. So either way, you have to be doing more courses, and more courses, the merrier. In a sense, so make sure you understand that people are watching me today and they never believe in me, but I believe in I. I believe in I. I'm making sure you must understand I never need other people to believe in I. I understand I do believe in my communicational skills more than anybody, and that way I understand that no matter what, that Jesus Christ does believe in you if you go with Jesus Christ. In a sense, to make sure you understand that no matter what, that it's just the way it is. Understand? That's the way it is. There's no other way. So focus on understanding that God wants to give you everything if you follow God. Or you understand? I want to give you everything if you follow me. It's the same thing. But if you turn away from me, then I understand either way I turn away from you too. Do you understand? So how you treat me is how I treat you. Understand? It is. Understand? Although I treat you better than you treat me. I treat you better than you treat me better. Understand? I treat you the best, always. I'm always treating you better than you treat me. So if you turn your back on something that's better than you, then I never need you. And I want you to come follow me, but if you are so arrogant to even follow me, then I never need you, man. But I want you to follow me, but that's what Jesus Christ tells you as well. And it's more, Jesus Christ says, hey, if you're so arrogant about me, then just go somewhere else. That's it. If you never want to follow God, God says go follow something else then. Understand? Make sure you understand, but if you want to follow God, then you have God on your side. But if you never want to follow God, then you have nothing. You have nobody on your side. Understand? You never even have yourself if you never follow God. You must understand that. You must understand that the word I is God. You must understand that if you want to go and really, really do something around life, then make sure every single day you pause the video camera and then go and do your nice and beautiful action of what you want to do, because I understand I have to turn on the heater. So what's important for myself is I pause the camera because I can go and do better. I see. So what's important, guys, is I just have to pause the video camera just so I can go and experience a fulfilling attempt to understand that if you are sitting next to a heater, for example, but just to experience something of a heater nature where I can go and warm up, for example. But if you're sitting next to a heater, I mean, never ever sit next to a heater. And never ever sit next to a heater even 1 minute in terms of 1 meter away from it. I understand, because why? Because if you're sitting next to a heater, then it makes you sleepy and it makes you fatigued. I promise you. If you put yourself next to something that's really hot, then your body temperature goes up. And when your body temperature goes up, I mean, then you start getting sick. And then you start losing energy as well. So never overheat yourself, is what I'm saying. And never ever get too cold either. So make sure you understand that your temperature must be at 37 something. But I understand every single day that you must keep your temperature at the level it's meant to be. So make sure you understand that no matter what, you have to learn your temperature. So make sure your temperature is just fucking some number, but it's never that number, is it? Roshni, you must understand, it's just a number, though. Roshi, now, the truth never lies. Roshi, words are real. So if it says that it's 37 temperature, that's really good. Roshi, that's what it is. You understand? Because words never lie. Roshi, the same words that we are using now is what God is using in terms of words over there. So when they say that's wine, Roshi, it really is wine. I mean, it's really wine. I understand? So make sure you understand that if you call it a remote, Roshi, that's what it is. Roshi, that's what it is. And that's what God says as well. So make sure you understand either way that you never ever know anything of this world except the word I. And now the I is something much more important than any other word. And now if you're using the word I every single day, then you're going to understand that no matter what, that you must be leveling yourself in your numbers every single day. But life is going fast. I can tell you right now. I can tell you life is going quickly. And I'm so much more greater right now than ever before because I get to experience something much greater. I get to experience the next 70 years of my life and 72 years of my life. I get to experience being alone, and I get to be free from everything. I get to be with myself. I get to be at the best potential I've ever been. I get to be at heights other people just wish. I get to be at heights other people just wish to be. You understand? So what's important for myself is you have to understand to level yourself and level yourself and level yourself and level yourself and get away from the ground and get away from other people and stop speaking to them as much as possible. So then understand that instead of myself doing an audio program with them and talking to them, because I understand that what's important is I can, but what's amazing is I'd rather do something with myself around something that's much better. But what's even better than that is I understand I'm never wasting time talking to other people, but I'm never going to be around those people, even if I talk to them. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you understand? So make sure you understand that I'm never talking to anybody other than the word I understand that. But what's amazing is understanding that if you're talking to yourself only, then that's the only direction, because you're only ever going to be with yourself all your life. I mean, other people are going to pass away from your life. And once they pass away, so does the time that you did invest in those people. So if you give somebody 50 years of your life in words and they pass away, I mean, where did your words go? I mean, your words went to somebody who did pass away. I mean, did you document it? I mean, did you put in a video? I mean, that's a waste of time. That's a big waste of time. I promise you. So make sure you understand that if you document with that individual 50 years of words and you document on a video, then you never did waste your time. I mean, you never did waste your time with those people. So for the first, let's say, from my first 26 years of life, in terms of my first 25 years of life, I was never documenting anything. I was documenting my life here and there, but I wasn't really serious about myself. I wasn't really, let's say, documenting myself to teach anybody anything. I was like Beyonce. I mean, just documenting my life here and there. I mean, fucking doing fucking jack shit. I understand? I wasn't doing much. I mean, for the first 25 years of my life. I understand? So make sure I understand that what changed. I mean, what did change from 25? What did change is I wrote my first book. I wrote my first book at 25. And now it's the Ultimate Road to Success book. And you can find it on YouTube and you can find it in my Mega Drive. But from that point, I really did live from that point. From that point, I went the next year and I did make 41 courses this year. I made my first 41 how-to series courses right here. and I was calling it Self-Excellence Program, or YEP Lectures, which is Your Excellence Program. And now I was placing it with YEP and SEP, for example, but either way, I understand now it's just my dictionary. I mean, now it's just something else. I mean, it's still Your Excellence Programs. I mean, this is Your Excellence Program. I mean, this is Self-Excellence Program. I mean, still. But what's amazing is words never lie, and words is something amazing. So I did make my first 41 videos in my how-to series, and go check it out. It's in my how-to series, but now I'm around 108. So I now have around 308 courses, but that was 41. I mean that before, in terms of what I understand, is everything is the word I only. But make sure you understand that no matter what, that if you go back to the I while you're speaking, then understand that the first 41 courses of my how-to series, I have a chubby face. I was chubby, and I was never speaking like I am now. So you must understand to go and check it out. And I was very much more immature. I mean, go and check out to see how immature I was. And then go and see how fat I was as well, and how immature I was back then. And now fat people are immature for their age. And now they may have white hair while they're fat, but they look immature. I mean, I promise you. They're very immature for their age. And even though they look older than you, they're very immature for their own age. You understand? So make sure you understand that what you need to realize is I'm more mature than everybody in the planet. I mean, there's nobody more mature than me. I mean, you must understand that. I mean, even though I'm much more younger than everybody else, I mean, you must understand that what's more important is how much words I've spoken more than them. And I've done more words than them. I understand? So that's why I'm so much happier. I'm so much happier because I understand something. I understand how to live life. I understand every single day how to really get up front. I get in front of the crowd really quickly now. I mean, there's no wasting time about my life. I mean, I have a feeling that I understand that no matter what. I understand Avicii, for example, in 2010. And I went to his festival, and it's at the Stereosonic. And now with Avicii, I understand either way that he may have been there on that day, but I was listening to that song of his, and it's the vibe of his music track. And now he really did hit big on 2010, and he was somewhat famous, but I wasn't really watching him so much in that time, but I was hearing about him a lot. And that's because there's a massive hype about him. I mean, understand? And as soon as his music comes on, I mean, everybody's screaming. I mean, everybody's just around places, and everybody's loving life. I mean, understand? So from that point of view, I understand that he became famous early on. I mean, understand? So that's me right now. I'm becoming famous early on. But Avicii became famous in 2010, and he did pass away around 2018. So either way, he did pass away, or else he did pass away around 28 years of age. So I'm understanding either way. You must understand that around 19 he became famous. So I'm 28 though. I mean, I did lag it. I did lag a bit. I mean, understand? But I'm living longer now. I'm understanding. I'm happier. I'm happier than Avicii. I mean, I can say that. I can say I'm happier than Avicii. But I understand that what's amazing is understand that some people do get famous, and then they die very early on, and they go around the world, and then they're famous stars, and then they kill themselves. You understand? And then also other people are dying around 60 years of age, and they're famous. And why? I mean, why 60 age? I mean, why 60 years of age? Because their eating habits and what they're drinking and who they're surrounding themselves with. I mean, in a sense, so life is never ever make it big fast, but make it big in the long run. I mean, understand? I mean, make it famous in the long run. So even though I understand Djokovic has been famous since 21. I mean, the first Australian Open he ever played, I mean, the first Australian Open that he ever did play, he won it at 21. And that was, 14 years ago. 14 years ago. I mean, you must understand either way that since you understand that, since then, I realized it's been 8 already in terms of championships. He's already won at the Australian Open. So he's won within 10 years, 8 Australian Opens. I mean, in a sense, so it's around that number. So you must understand either way that what's important is understand that when I understand something, I understand Djokovic is only 7 years in more age than I am. So I understand that. I understand really. I mean, you understand? But I am something much more than yesterday. I understand that ages lie. Virtually everybody's age is the truth. But the real age of life, I want you to understand that the real age, that even though Djokovic is 34 and I'm 28, I've spoken more words than Djokovic. Right now, who's younger? I am. I'm younger. I mean, now, let's say I'm 50 years of age, but Djokovic is 38. And I spoke more words in life. I mean, who's younger? I am. I'm always younger than Djokovic. Even though I'm 54 and he's 38. I mean, why is that? Because I spoke more words. I spoke more words and I'm younger because of that. I mean, in a sense, so what you have to realize is he became famous really early on, at 21. I mean, just like Avicii. I mean, just around that age. I remember when I was 21, man. Whew. I mean, when I was 21, when Djokovic was way ahead of me. I mean, Djokovic at 21, and I mean, just compare us together. Djokovic is way ahead of the game. I mean, he's way ahead of me. I mean, he has a passion. I mean, he's financially free. I mean, he's fitter than me. I mean, he's more famous than me. I mean, he's more successful than me. I mean, he speaks better English and Serbian than me. I mean, he has travel for free all his life. I mean, he's on TV. I mean, he's famous. I mean, he has all these freaking interviews everywhere. I mean, the whole Serbia sees him. I mean, the whole Australia and everybody sees him now. I mean, fuck. I mean, the guy's fucking too good at 21. I mean, 28 now. I'm 28 now. But let's compare me and Djokovic now at 28. Russia at 28, Russia's much more famous than me at 28. Russia, no. I'm much more famous than him. Russia now, guess what? Russia right now, Russia, no matter what, Russia, nobody can overtake me now. Russia now, you can overtake me. Russia, you can overtake me. But right now, even though Djokovic has fame right now, Russia has fame right now, but I have fame in the long run, even more than him. I mean, why is that? Because I'm fucking talking more words than him. I mean, Djokovic is 34. I'm 28. I spoke 800 hours of words. I mean, he's never done that. Russia's never done that on a video. I mean, he's never he's never taught you anything on a video, man. Russia, although, guess what? Russia, he has, in a way, spoken in the videos to teach you something. But he's never consistent on it. I mean, guess what? I mean, he only fucking speaks to talk to you when other people interview him. And that's it. Russia's like a Donald Trump. You understand? So make sure you understand that I'm much more famous in the long run than Djokovic ever will be. I mean, understand that? I mean, I promise you. Russia now, guess what? Russia, I'm 28. But has the world seen me now? I mean, Russia at this stage? Russia, no. Russia, the world has never even seen me yet. I'm coming soon. I mean, in a sense, to make sure I understand that the world can see me right now in the long term. Russia, long term, I have long-term fame right now. I can see that. I can see long-term fame with me right now at 28. And much more than Djokovic ever will be. I understand. And now, what's to come with Djokovic is something different. Russia, now, I understand that's a prediction. Russia, that's a prediction that he may never ever do what I'm doing. Russia, that's just a prediction. But guess what? He can, however, change his course. Russia, right now, Russia, as it stands, I'm always more famous than Djokovic. Russia, there's never a person alive today and in history that's more famous than Danny Milivojevic. Russia, except Jesus Christ. Russia, Jesus Christ is more famous than Danny Milivojevic. Russia, I have to admit that. But guess what? I have much more in life now because I understand either way that I'm never against Jesus Christ for that. But I understand that it's God. I mean, God gave us everything. I understand. So make sure you understand that if you put God first, then you can also increase your legacy too. So make sure you understand that's why I'm saying that no matter what you want out of life, that you can achieve it as long as you help other people to get what they want, as Zig Ziglar says. So make sure you understand that no matter what, that you guys now can go and check out my Instagram, and I have my multi-millionaires that I listen to and that I watch every single day. And I watch them all. And I go through the content of the news headlines and everything. And while I'm going through the contents and I'm reading, I do an audio program only. I only ever read with my mentors, and I only ever go to see what's happening online while I'm actually doing an audio program. I only ever talk to other people while I'm doing an audio program with them. Or actually nothing else. I mean, stick to the discipline right here. I only ever read with other people and I only watch other people and their festivals and whatever they're doing while I am doing an audio program. So I can watch Armin van Buuren's festivals. I can watch Avicii festivals. I can watch anybody's festivals, but I have to be doing some audio programs while I'm doing it. Because otherwise, it's a waste of time. You understand? So make sure you understand that if you want to live more life, then you have to go and speak the words much more. Or you should understand that what's amazing about life is understand every single day that I understand that no matter what, I'm always doing greater. I'm understanding that no matter what, that I need to go and really, really understand how to really do my... I need to understand much better about life. So I understand, for example, Ziz, for example, is a bodybuilder, and he did pass at 22, for example, and around 22, but he was doing at that stage, in terms of, let's say, if we did compare each other, I understand that he did have more fame than me back then. I understand, although every single day that no matter what, that he did also have more muscles than me. But I understand every single day that what's amazing about life is you can always compare exactly the people's timing in different formats, and you can also understand in life how to really, really dwell on better life for yourself. So we're always looking for something that we need to do every single day in a way that we're going to help other people, because if you want to speak like this, then you have to do some words, and you have to understand every single day to go and lift people and inspire people in different ways. And then once you inspire people in different ways, then understand it's more about the words you give than it is the food that you eat and drink. So if you want to understand how to eat food and drink today, then understand to just eat food and drink. I mean, once you eat food and drink, just eat food and drink. I mean, never ever try to speak and eat food and drink, ever. Because it mumbles you. I mean, and it never ever grows you. Now, guess what? You can, however, do this. That once you understand this, that you have to eat food and drink when you eat food and drink. I mean, when you're doing pleasure, then you have to do pleasure, is what I'm saying. I mean, there's no teaching people why you're doing pleasure. Now, guess what? I promise you, it's why. I'll show you something. I promise you that when I say this, that if you're teaching people why you're doing pleasure, then guess what? I promise you that it's more that you're trying to get away from the pleasure. I understand? So if you want to do pleasure, then you have to do pleasure. I mean, you can never teach people pleasure, and you can only teach people something away from pleasure. I understand? Because if you teach people pleasure, then you're leaving them astray. But Jesus Christ never teaches you to go for gratification. Jesus Christ teaches you to get away from gratification and to delay gratification. But Jesus Christ never says go and grab sex with other people. And Jesus Christ never says for you to eat as much as you can. Jesus Christ never says for you to sleep so much. Jesus Christ says delay sleep, and delay the food and drink, and delay the sex with other people, and delay masturbation. Jesus Christ says delay masturbation too, because sex with other people and delaying gratification is the delay. Really, really delaying gratification is what we're talking about. So sex with other people is something that you have to delay. Understand? So when you're delaying other people altogether and you're delaying their communicational styles, you have to understand Jesus Christ back in the days. And now Jesus Christ was going after people, but he's documenting the whole journey. And now it's never a waste of time at all. Jesus Christ never did waste his time. But guess what? Now, guess what? Before this, Jesus Christ had no disciples. Jesus Christ had no disciples to a certain extent. And now that's a waste of time. That's a big waste of time, where Jesus shows us in the Bible that he was never ever documenting his life when he was early on. But guess what? At first, he was never ever documenting his life. And I understand either way, I'm the first one to understand it. I'm the first one to understand that Jesus Christ was never ever documenting his life to a certain stage before his disciples. There was no recollection. There was no recollection of the Bible for some time. And around 20 years of age, Jesus Christ went to the disciples at around 20 years of age. Because why? Because Jesus Christ had to summon the confidence. Jesus Christ had to summon his confidence here. I promise you. Because otherwise, Jesus Christ can go as a 6-year young individual to get the disciples. I promise you. Jesus Christ then can say that I'm the first one to understand this. Because understand that God can do anything. But understand that there comes a certain time and place that Jesus Christ is teaching us here, that we have to go and lead at a certain time. And Jesus Christ understands that. So he went to the disciples to recollect and to document his life quickly. Understand? So make sure you understand that back in those days, there may have been a few scripts of his actual Bible. Just a few scripts, a few pages. And then what did humanity do? Humanity passes it down for generations and writes massive scripts of this nice and beautiful Bible. And it's a recollection. of everything. So what happens is that Jesus Christ did pass away, and then guess what? Actually, the disciples were writing the story down as much as possible. So it's in the process. So while Jesus Christ, let's say, did pass away from this lifetime, but he's still here in the actual knowledge. But that page, in terms of the Bible, may have been maybe a few pages, like, let's say, for example, 10 pages of his Bible when Jesus Christ did pass away. I mean, I'm just guessing. But then guess what? I mean, you must understand. Then, after Jesus Christ passing away, is written the next 500 pages of Jesus Christ's Bible. I mean, in a sense, so Jesus Christ's Bible is just one chapter. I mean, it's just one page of everything. I mean, understand? I mean, everybody has a page. I have a page. I mean, you have a page. You have a chapter of your life. Which everybody has a chapter. But in the book of life, I mean, Jesus Christ is one chapter. I mean, understand? I mean, everybody else has a chapter in that book. I mean, everybody else is in that book too. I mean, we're all together. So that's what I want you to understand every single day. That you go and understand that since Jesus Christ is documenting his life back then, I mean, now he made up for it already. I mean, he taught you everything that did happen when he was a kid. I mean, he taught you everything that did happen when he was a teenager. Or he taught you everything that did happen in his 20s. And he taught you everything that did happen in his 30s too. Because he made up for it. I mean, he made up for everything. I mean, understand? But he went to the disciples for them to write it all down. I mean, he sat with them. I mean, he sat with them to write the Bible. I mean, do you understand that? Now, behind the scenes at night time, I'm pretty sure Jesus Christ was just with the disciples, and Jesus Christ was alone with his mother, and Jesus Christ was just with himself. Jesus Christ was never roaming the streets at night, I'm pretty sure. Now, if Jesus Christ was roaming the streets at night, then it's just to go somewhere for a purpose. And never ever just to fucking be around nighttime, man. I promise you. So learn that from Jesus Christ right now. To never ever fucking go nighttime wandering somewhere, man. I mean, understand? Because that's drug addicts, and that's criminals, and that's thieves of life. So make sure you understand that Jesus Christ is always indoors. And mostly indoors was Jesus Christ. Although Jesus Christ is always now, but understand that it's much better to be indoors in like a place like this than to be on the street sleeping. Understand? So of course it's richer to be indoors. I mean, in a sense, so make sure you understand that when you're going indoors in life, then you understand that it's never out there that your life is. I mean, your life is never out there. I mean, your life is inside. I mean, so if you disagree with that, then why aren't you on the street sleeping? I mean, understand? I mean, do you agree with inside nature or the outside world? I mean, do you agree with the inside world or the outside world? Because the outside world is on the street sleeping, but inside is you having a bed to sleep on. I mean, what do you believe in? I mean, you have to believe in the inside world, because the inside world is where you can sleep on a bed with a pillow, and you can cover yourself up and sleep like a individual. I mean, in a sense, so go inside is what we're teaching. I mean, Jesus Christ is teaching you inside, and we have to go inside for the help that we need, because to take responsibility is to go inside. I mean, who's in a better position to succeed? Is it the one living in the house like me, or is it the homeless man living on the street? I mean, of course, I'm richer. I'm richer because I'm living inside my house. I'm living inside my house. I'm never outside living. I'm never living outside. I understand how it is to live outside. I understand. I mean, it's scary. I promise you, it's so scary to live outside. I've been living before outside 4 times, and I was inside a car. And now because I was inside a car, I was one step closer to becoming indoors in terms of accommodation. But I was one step away from being outdoors, totally. So you must understand that twice in my life, I slept on the street. I mean, twice in my life. So never repeat anything that's twice in your life. I mean, never repeat the same thing twice. I mean, so, I mean, whoa. I mean, where did that come from? I mean, twice I was on the street. I mean, I never ever repeat that again. I mean, so make sure you understand, never repeat the same thing twice. I mean, how does that, I mean, it just really goes, doesn't it? Or she really, really dwells into that nice and beautiful way. So I understand that no matter what, and if you want to teach people something about life, then make 1 hour segment videos and go and teach as much as possible, and then understand that's the only freedom that you have. But today I was looking at my nice and beautiful Instagrams while I was making my audio programs for the first 3.5 hours after the first 15 minutes that I woke up And then I did start my audio programs for the first time ever. And now, because I've done that, I mean, I ran into so many, let's say, techniques that I ran into where if I never spoke over it, and if I never ever spoke the words over that, then there's no chance that I would have done it. I understand. So what did I do really? I went online and I did post 6 posts into 5 Instagrams. I mean into 4 Instagrams, 6 posts each, right? I mean, that's 30 posts I done. But imagine doing 30 posts on Instagram today. I mean, how long does it take you to do 30 posts with captions and everything? So I'm still somebody who has to do the captions. I still have to do the captions. But what's amazing is understanding that I did complete the 30 posts. And now with the actual Instagram stories, I did upload 100 photos into my Danny Milivojevic Instagram, but the other ones I never upload the Instagram stories. And why is that? Because I find that I have more than enough satisfaction here. I mean, you are going to reach a certain level of satisfaction, and you're going to say, nah. I mean, I understand where I am now. But I can, however, make 1 extra Instagram. And now because that 1 extra Instagram is something that I want to do, and now it's something that is just nature. I want to promote nature. I want to go and make these nice and beautiful images, and I want to go online and I want to download these images, and I want to post them into Instagram. And I want it to be 10 photos each per post. And I want people to see these beautiful images of life. I want to inspire people here. I mean, that's it. I mean that's why that's why I'm doing it. But then I'm never wasting time posting 30 posts on Instagram a day. I mean, it's 36 posts. I understand, but I'm never wasting time here. But it's just going to be on my feed. I mean, just on my feed, and my Instagram, Danny Milivojevic, is something different, where I post actually 100 photos of myself on Instagram, and I get 2 views a day on my Instagram. So guess what? I mean, who cares about them? But what's amazing is I get more than that. I never limit myself, but understand if you get confused, if you're confusing yourself around numbers of how many people are watching your numbers, so be very quiet about that. I mean, be very quiet when other people are watching you, and also when other people are asking you how much followers do you have. I mean, just say, I have all the followers in the world. I mean, never ever limit yourself to 34 followers or how many followers you have really. Because if you state how many followers you have, then it's true. Just say, I have all the following in the world. I mean, that's the only answer you can say. But if other people are asking you about numbers, then all you really state is the word I. I mean, all you really state is the word I. But if you set numbers with other people, then you're limiting yourself. I mean, how is that possible? So you must understand, if you go around saying that 1 million is a number, then that's the only number you ever achieve. I mean, that's it. You settle to somebody else, and then guess what? I mean, that's the only number you ever achieve. I mean, how about 2 million? But you said, but you said 1 million to the individual. I mean, so that's why I say, shh. We never ever mention numbers to other people. We never ever mention numbers to other people. I mean, never ever say anything other than the word I to other people. What is the word I? I mean, anything that has no numbers, and it's also the word I completely in terms of I love you, and just come and state back the word I to them. I mean, if they ask you how much money do you want to achieve, I just want to achieve the word I. I mean, is that it? I mean, that's it, man. I mean, that's it. I mean, if somebody asks you how much money do you have, I have my word I. I mean, how much money is that? I mean, my word I is for everything. I mean, what? I mean, if somebody's asking for how much money you have in numbers in your bank account, then shh. Because if you state the number, then you're limiting yourself. So if other people are asking how much money do you make in money, then just say Jesus Christ. I mean, you can say Jesus Christ as well, but say the word I instead. I mean, say the word I, because the word I implies you. I mean, Jesus Christ wants you to say the word I. But understand that in this parable, Roshi, you can state Jesus Christ too. Roshi, now, it's much more important that, from my perspective, that you go and state that Jesus Christ is the money. I mean, it's much better, because that way you're going to back it with a lot of information here. I mean, there's so much more information in Jesus Christ information than the word I. Roshi, I can see that. I can actually see the parable here. But then, Jesus Christ tells you from this point that the word I is even more information. You understand? I mean, the word I. So that's why I understand that from my perspective, I understand why I can say the word I. But you yourself have to understand Jesus Christ first to understand what I mean. There's a big difference. So understand that no matter what, I'm very smart to be living this life, and understand that I deserve it. I understand although that what's important is I promote it, and I understand every single day I deserve to do more, but without Jesus Christ, my life here is gone. I mean, why do I say that? Because it's either you kill somebody else or you never kill somebody else. I mean, what do you choose? I mean, of course, we choose to never kill somebody else. I understand, and that's why we follow Jesus Christ, because Jesus Christ agrees with that. I understand, because anybody who never wants to follow Jesus Christ is killing somebody else today. I understand, because that's the whole point. So the whole point is understanding to follow Jesus Christ and to follow the 10 Commandments. But Jesus Christ never ever tries to follow you in terms of tries to demand it from you. But Jesus Christ is teaching you from his perspective. I mean, Jesus Christ is teaching you from his perspective what you must do. But he's never forcing you to do it, is the thing. So those people who are turning away from Jesus Christ are the ones who never have a life itself. I mean, they never have a life in this lifetime. And even though they're living, they're never really living. I mean, they never understand what they're doing. But if you understand what you're doing and you follow Jesus Christ, then you really do have life in this lifetime. And then you really do have eternity. I mean, you can only have eternity in Jesus Christ. And now that means to follow Jesus Christ to have eternity. And that means also that you become happier when you follow Jesus Christ. And when you become happier, I mean, that's the eternity we're talking about. But if you never follow Jesus Christ, then you never have life, which means you become upset, and which means you kill yourself eventually, and which means you never ever become aware of what you've done. You understand? And that's how powerful God is. I mean, God's so powerful that I comes first in this lifetime, and then Jesus comes here, which is the word I. But I understand either way that what's important is from Jesus' perspective, that he wants to teach you that Jesus came here and is teaching the word I here. And that's it. I mean, in a sense, to make sure you understand that no matter what, if you want to go and really, really inspire people, inspire yourself first.